Hello good people of the internet, welcome back to the King's Country Devlog series. I've been pretty busy since the last video. During the last week I focused on the combat systems and some early UI implementation. I didn't record so much during this sprint because I was too busy diving into the code to take a breath of air and press record, so I'll show you what has happened. I have a simple minimap set up in the bottom left corner of the screen. It's quite large, so I'm thinking of adding a minimize and maximize button so it's less intrusive, but if it's much smaller it's hard to read, so I'm not too sure what to do there. It's very simple, just a new orthographic camera facing down, rendering its own map layer. The trees and units have their own map sprite objects attached to them that show up on the map so the player can see where the biggest threat is coming from. I'm not sure yet how essential this will be to the final gameplay, but I'm glad I have it implemented for now. Then I added a placeholder 3D model for the menu and the home tree. The home tree is basically like a town centre for the player. From here they can spawn 3 different units: the satyr, the classic fantasy creature with the torso of a man and the legs of a goat, the orcus, an orc but without invoking copyright lawyers, and the leshy, which is a mythic Slavic creature that's a defender of the forest. Currently only the satyr and the orcs have been put into effect. The leshy might need a more complicated script. In addition to the units, from the home tree the player can also purchase upgrades. I have all the upgrades figured out for now, but they aren't yet functional. I created this tooltip system that works across the UI and the game world. This gives descriptions of what each upgrade and various objects do. I have placeholders for all the different enemy units, so I have all of the woodcutting enemies sorted out, the logger, the lumberjack and the log cutter. Also all of the hunter units as well. So we have the Waith, the hunter and the Bjornjäger. The Bjornjäger is a new addition. He's got a crossbow, he's armoured. Bjornjäger is like bear hunter in Old Norse language. Keep in mind that these models aren't the final models, but merely to help sell the result I'm aiming for. I created some particle effects and sound effects for the weapon impacts, and the combat is beginning to feel really fun and interesting. I plan to add more animation variations so that it looks more dynamic, because right now it's just, one looping animation. Big shout out to Emergent Sagas for getting me onto nav mesh obstacles. I haven't used these before, but they help me fix my issues with the pathfinding. Each rock and tree has a nav mesh obstacle component on it that allows the agents to carve a path around the objects. This has helped a lot, so thanks for the tip, mate, that's great. In saying this, I have begun to realise the limitations of Unity's nav mesh system. I think eventually I'll have to switch to A-star pathfinding, but for now I'll be sticking with the OG. So currently now in terms of the combat, I've just got to get the warriors sorted out. So I need to make models and sort out the animations for each of the different warrior types, and there's 3 of them. After that, then there's the leshy, which is like a big giant forest creature. When that's all sorted, then I'll have all of the combat units figured out except for the mage ranged units, which are spawned from a different building. But I think that will be enough to get a good sense of what the game's going to feel like. So I think hopefully by the end of the month, February, I'll have a playable demo where you can play around with it, see how it feels, try and have a win condition and whatnot. Thanks again everyone for watching and following along. I've had a few people mention a Discord server, so I'll be working on setting that up over the next week. I've been forced to move house on account of the absolutely parasitic Sydney rental market and record high interest rates. This might cause me to take a little longer to get the next devlog out, but I'll do my best. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on notifications and leave a comment down below. Peace, love, and Unity 3D. Thank you very much.